I am Probulus with 100 Reasons for Non-Belief. Today we're going to present reasons 46 to 50. Now these are all based on my Amazon Kindle book, 101 Reasons for Non-Belief. We will discuss 46, the benefits of secularism. Now, I have a separate book on this, and it's called The Good News for Atheists, Agnostics, and Secular Humanists. The number one is that you are not born sinful. This relates to my first 5 reasons. You're now free from guilt and dogma and archaic stigmas and bigotry against race and against homosexuality. You are now open to science, to your own human reason, to facts. Things can be falsified. And you also are now open to new theories and ideas based on information. You're free to enjoy the pleasures of life. You're free from the misogyny evident in the Bible, superstitious thought, and concepts like heaven and hell. As I tell people, stop praying and actually do something. There's good news in secularism. Number 47, Russell's teapot. Now this is a logical argument. It's been around for centuries, and essentially Bertrand Russell, the philosopher, he argues that one cannot prove a negative, that there is no teapot in outer space. Applying this to religion, the onus is for the believer to prove the existence of a God, not for the non-believer to prove he does not exist. You can't prove that you don't have an invisible pink dragon in your garage. You have a book that you wrote about the dragon, and the dragon says he exists in that book, but other than that, there are no visible signs. You can't ask the dragon to prove itself by setting something on fire. Notice how well this argument works for probability, as probability is always true whether you believe it or not. Reason 48, reverse the names of God or Allah or Jehovah and Jesus Christ in the Old and New Testament. Try that as an exercise. Now this opens up a whole wide area of debate. Are Jesus and Yahweh the same being? Is Jesus the Son of God or God? How does this fit into the concept of the Trinity? It's one person, but they're 3 separate entities. Did Jesus order the destruction of entire villages? Did God die on the cross and go to hell? It's deep stuff. The main point here is that it just illustrates the confusion, the errors, the discrepancies in the Old and New Testament. It reveals them to be exactly what they sound like. And that's the work of Bronze Age man to describe the world as it is, not the words of a deity. 49 is related, and it's the evolution of God of Genesis to that of Jesus Christ. Again, notice how God transforms from the God of the Garden of Eden to the God toward the end of the Old Testament, where he's wrathful in the beginning, and then toward the end he's unknowable and unseen. And then he becomes meek and mild Jesus Christ, preaching to love your neighbor and to forgive your enemies. I think of this as a branding exercise. Jesus is God 2.0. He's a meme that became more personal and more popular. Essentially, there are books on the evolution of God, such as the God virus, and these are reasons you'll see later in this series. The next reason is the other God's earth, and I specifically wanted this to be in my top 50. This is a short novella I wrote about an alternative universe with a different God, where there is no evil, there's no death, there's no sin, no suffering, there's no mental illness. It's just good and better. It is what we are led to believe that our earth and our world was supposed to have been. Now, the point here is that if I could have conceived of a world that's much better than this one and a better God, then it's proof that God is either incompetent, he enjoys torture, a serial torturer, or simply non-existent as most believe him to be. He is essentially amoral probability, or what I call probulism. The point here is that after you read the story, could you actually say that this alternative version of God is a better God? Please view my other YouTube videos and visit me on my website, IamProbulus.com. Please like and subscribe, and I do thank you for visiting today.